Right, we had a little talky topic earlier. I got another one for you. You know, full disclosure and all that. You know, I like to not only tell you my thoughts, but why and where it comes from. Because I couldn't even be bothered with this one. But YouTube served me up a video with a lot of views. MrBeast is over and all of this. And I'm like, all right, what is it now? So these videos, they just throw so much information at you. I can see how you get sucked in these narratives. And they were throwing these things around about MrBeast, and I was kind of like, well, this explosion here is CG. And it's like, is that actually a problem if there's CG in one of his videos? But, you know, they just hit you with so many punches. Maybe there's a couple of good punches in there, but then there's a lot of fluff as well. But here's the thing. The vibe that I got from it was a familiar vibe because I've been around on YouTube a long time. I'm also older. You see patterns over time, the way people react to stuff. And there's been this common thing about celebrities about how they build you up and then they chew you up and spit you out. Happened with like Britney Spears. The way people are treated in the spotlight is insane. Like, we don't treat other people like this yet. If you're a celebrity, somehow we decide it's okay to treat people this way. It's bizarre. And people get built up and then they get torn down. Once you like hit this tipping point, maybe it's like you don't sell as much, then you're ripe for the taking down, because then knocking you down is going to sell papers. Maybe when you've outdone your usefulness, selling newspapers or clicks online to get people's attention, then your downfall is going to get their attention again. It feels like that. It feels like building you up to help you fall down. And I just got that vibe of MrBeast. It just, this drama about him just made me, is this that typical thing that we all seem to do? It's just this kind of arc where we get bored of someone and now we want to see him fall over, is what it felt like to me. I'm not particularly interested in the details because they seem kind of fluffy. Accusing him of lying, but it's because he used CG in a video. Okay. Maybe there's an element of deception there, but not a dark deception. It's okay, maybe our expectations of what he's doing is different from what he's doing. Jalasco says, content creation, especially on that scale, is always a bit of a deception. Yeah, I've always watched his content with a pinch of salt whenever I tune in, and there's all these grandiose prizes and crazy things that are doing. I'm quite aware we're seeing the end product, and how it's all comes together might not be quite the same way you see it. And to me, that's okay. Anyway, it's just the flavor of it, the way these videos popped up. Is hating on MrBeast now going to get more clicks than loving him? Because for a long time, he was in podcasts, he was in thought piece videos, video essays, getting beefed up, you know, like, hey, this guy's great, and he's talking to us about his strategies, and it's like the building him up story. And if this flips and it becomes like a big narrative and lots of people jump on it and it gets lots of clicks, it's got this unshakable similarity to the way celebrities get built up and pulled down, traditional celebrities in traditional media. Do you think it's just a rage bait gig? Okay, a lot of drama is baiting you because drama has this magnetic quality of people that you care about, you're emotionally attached to them. Now we're all talking about our morals around what they did was wrong or right. That stuff can be really engaging, but a lot of the time it's quite hollow because it's not about stuff that can be dealt with legally. It's a lot of he says, she says, and it drags people in and it gathers their attention. And if you watch any drama commentators, they're always cycling one thing to the next, one thing to the next, and there'll never be any end to it. This just feels like something has clicked and MrBeast is now hateable or whatever, because this is getting people's attention now. I imagine people tried it in the past and it just didn't catch on. I'm pretty sure I've seen some critiques of him in the past, but it looks like with these big numbers, it's catching on. So I'm kind of looking at it through that lens of, is this a thing where hating on MrBeast will now get you more clicks? Because if that's true, you might see a lot of content creators hopping on this bandwagon, and now all the drama will be against MrBeast, where before he was kind of everyone's darling. I personally like to try and wait until the dust has settled on these big topics, let time go by, so that all of the information can come in and it can be verified and we get a clearer picture of what's actually taken place later on. We don't tend to get that at the beginning when the outrage initially sparks. So I like to give these things time before I really get stuck into my opinion on what's happened. It's tabloid journalism. People in the public eye are considered role models, and because of that, somewhere along the line, it was decided by some people that they need to be held to a higher moral standard than the regular folk with no public influence. Yeah, I personally like to think of celebrities as just like us, but the fact that you exist in a limelight will probably mess with your ego a lot, like it'll affect your personality, but when it comes down to it, we're all just people. And I see them as being treated differently, and I don't think it's particularly fair, and I try to not do that. Like, maybe sometimes when I'm sitting here waffling, I might not really realize it, but I'm talking about someone differently because they're a celebrity, but hopefully I don't do that. I at least strive not to. As for with MrBeast though, is this like, when you said that some people are deciding it, it feels to me like the people who are deciding it this time are content creators. And personally, I feel like a lot of drama commentators, it doesn't strike me as a particularly mature place to go for like nuanced opinion and wise or like meaningful. It's a lot of he says, she says, and so said this and so said that. Like, I don't consider it particularly enlightening content. So it doesn't surprise me that now hating on MrBeast would just be a smooth transition for a lot of these people commentating on it. Because if you talk drama, you're going to say so much stuff, so many opinions. We use the word hypocrisy, but you will say something at one point in time that in another point you'll contradict yourself if you have these opinions out in public. Like, I'll do it too. It's just a natural thing that people do. You have all these opinions, they're often emotional and in the moment, and you're going to say something that contradicts something you said at another point in time. But point being, it's these people that are now the ones that are, I guess, setting that moral line or whatever we want to call it for our perception of other people on the platform. And it's interesting because it's not the traditional establishment, it's individual creators that are supposedly outside of this establishment, which is why to me it feels like, are we just sort of like repeating this pattern? We're not more enlightened because more people have got a voice and we can be more individual and express ourselves. We're just copying what was set up before. Fufi says again, it's just like tabloid journalism. Think about The Sun or the Daily Mail. It's biased to some nasty little gossip narrative. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm naive to think it, but I thought us all having our own independent voices or whatever and the ability to make content would free us from that. But it seems like we're just repeating the same pattern. Maybe it's just inherent human nature when people become in the eye of everyone, the way we think about them changes, and this is the behavior that emerges. Maybe it's just us. Maybe it's just human behavior. Hallowed Animation says rinse and repeat, basically. Yeah, it's what happens to so many celebrities, like on the way up. Let's just think of some of the other big names in pop music, for example, like Post Malone and Billie Eilish. I am so not surprised if at some point in the future something happens and then people turn on them, because it's what happens over and over again. It wouldn't surprise me. And unless they do something genuinely criminal and horrific and morally apprehensible, it's going to be some drama. So-and-so split up with their partner and they said this and that, and now everyone's got an opinion on it, and now we hate this artist, get rid of them, cancel them. It's this cycle over and over again. It's crazy. Just seeing it unfold with MrBeast just gave me this feeling of, oh, here we go again. Someone's been built up and now it's time to tear them down. But the flip of that is coming from the creators. It's not the Sun breaking this news story, right? Maybe they are. I don't read the Sun. What would I know? But do you see what I mean? It's like it's happening internally in this space, and it's like, what? It's probably happened to a few other creators before as well. And one final note, I just listened to what I've said in this video back, and I realized the very last thing I said there, that's been happening on YouTube for a long time, actually. There's always been a scene of drama around creators and creators turning on one another. I guess maybe the whole MrBeast situation just startled me a little bit or something like that. So did you enjoy the waffle? Want to hear more stories and thoughts? Check out the playlist link below if you want more videos like these, and of course subscribe to the channel to catch future ones, and go to linktree.xisuma.co if you'd like to find links to all of the other activities that I do, including playing guitar, making music, Minecraft videos, and much more. Go check out that link.